The South Today bulletin proudly brought to you in association with MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Tonight on the South Today, a group of Southland nature lovers take a stand to try and prevent some large trees from being chopped down. An iconic, bright pink and delicious looking statue in Canterbury is in need of a fresh lick of paint. And schools from across Southland descend on Invercargill for a week of Pasifika culture celebrations. Kia ora, good evening. I'm Hannah Wilkins. There's been intense frustration in the Southland town of Lumsden as protesters made a last-ditch effort to save some century-old trees from being chopped down. A group are doing all they can to stop contractors from what they're describing as a massacre of the town's historical wildlife.
The decision has been locked in, but these protesters aren't giving up their battle, chaining themselves to these trees in an effort to prevent them from being axed. The Lumsden Tree Lovers group was formed last year after the town's Presbyterian church announced it was selling its building. That meant 14 Lawson cypress trees around the church site would be chopped down to make way for a new worship centre, but protesters argued the trees should live for many more generations.
It's devastating to me to see these trees go. They are a huge feature of Lumsden, and there's nothing really going to be going here.
The 130-year-old trees were first planted around the time the church was built in 1891. Some locals believe they're important historical landmarks for the small Southland town.
I think that it's clear that the people who planted these trees and who built the church intended that the trees be here forever, and they can last for 7,000 years. So it wasn't as if they were planting something to turn into firewood.
Their protest effort failed to impress police, with the group asked to leave the church grounds.
The trees will be cut down, and this will be something that I think that people in Lumsden and Southland will look back on with great sadness.
The Lumsden Tree Lovers say they're heartbroken about losing the battle, but plan to continue protesting on the former church grounds, with the rest of the trees due to be chopped down this week. In Lumsden, the South Today.
2 people have been treated for smoke inhalation following a house fire in Mornington on Monday night. The blaze at the Crosby Street property was well involved when emergency services arrived, the fire tearing through the kitchen and living room of the house. 4 units attended the fire with the road cordoned off, the crews remaining last night to dampen down the building.
Yeah, the crews did a really good job getting to work up a driveway and getting the fire under control very quickly.
2 people were treated for smoke inhalation by Hatohone St John at the scene. An investigation into the cause of the fire is underway. A giant sculpture inspired by a world-famous TV show is costing ratepayers in the Southland district of Canterbury many thousands of dollars. The small town of Springfield boasts a donut sculpture on the main road, paying homage to animated sitcom The Simpsons, but the quirky landmark is in need of some urgent TLC.
The Springfield donut is world famous in New Zealand. First erected in 2007 by 20th Century Fox to celebrate the release of the Simpsons movie, the Springfield donut was one of many created around the world. The movie studio chose to donate the large donut sculpture to Springfield because the Canterbury town shares the same name as the fictional town of the Simpson family. The fiberglass donut helped put Springfield on the map, but the original model was destroyed by arsonists in 2009.
And I said, OK, but we'll make one of concrete and steel so that it can't be burnt down and it can become a feature of the township.
Woods finally solved the problem with some good old Kiwi ingenuity. The new donut installed in 2012 proving a hit with locals and visitors to the area.
I'd be a very, very wealthy man if I got $1 for everybody who's had their photo taken by it.
However, despite the efforts of the Selwyn District Council to keep the donut fresh and colourful, the paint keeps coming off. Woods used a specialised paint on the original structure, but says he's never been approached by the council for advice.
I'm not the best boy for the council. I was a bit of a thorn, and I still am a thorn on their sides because I still think that they do things wrong.
The 6-ton landmark remains a popular photo opportunity, but its future now hangs in the balance of a coat of paint. In Selwyn, the South Today.
The future of one of Dunedin's last student bars is up in the air again after the Otago University Students Association decided to let go of the lease on its venue. OUSA brought the lease for Starters Bar in 2018 in an effort to create a safe entertainment option for students. But their efforts were quickly thwarted. The bar had to shut its doors in 2020 due to the nationwide COVID-19 lockdown. Starters struggled to reopen for long periods after that. Health and safety concerns were cited as the reasons for closure in October 2021 after the building was deemed an earthquake risk. The OUSA executive voted this month to give up the lease on Starters Bar, but insists they're committed to finding an alternative venue for students in North Dunedin. This week is a big one for many school pupils in Southland, with one of the region's largest cultural festivals underway. Murihiku Polyfest has involved thousands of young people over its 14-year history, with organisers expecting large crowds this week.
Pint-sized performers showcasing their talent as Murihiku Polyfest swings into action in the south. The 5-day event burst into life on Monday. 125 schools from right across the region are set to take part in the festival over the week, in a variety of performances celebrating Pasifika and Māori culture. The event's being hosted at ILT Stadium Southland, with organisers welcoming schools from as far south as Rakiura Stewart Island and some who've travelled from Wellington.
I think one of the best things about Polyfest is that it's not a competition, and so everybody has a chance to get up on stage, to learn something new about a culture they may not know a lot about, and really get to show that to the community. It's really special and it means a lot.
She says it's their biggest Polyfest since COVID restricted events, with thousands of performers and almost 100 volunteers. And enjoying it all is an enthusiastic audience of family and supporters, with an estimated 40,000 people expected through the doors over the week. This is the 14th year of Polyfest in the south, and while it takes a lot of work to make it happen, organisers say it all pays off.
We're always behind the scenes and it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel, but then once we get here at the stadium it's just all good to go with our key leads in the building, and then we get to see the kids on stage and it's like, this is our why, this is why we do what we do.
Many of the volunteers are part of Polyfest's Rangatahi program, which aims to upskill the younger generation to hopefully take over running the event in years to come, a process ensuring the future of Murihiku's cultural scene is in good hands. In Invercargill, the South Today.
FI Yakane still to come on the South Today. Southland school kids bust out their best tricks on a new ramp, and Queenstown night skiers enjoy a live orchestra performance in an unusual place.
All new episodes of Put Some Colour in Your Life are now screening on Channel 39. Take a look at Australian artists and the techniques they use in their studio. Put Some Colour in Your Life, Tuesdays, 7:30.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
My mate John's taken the extra prices this weekend, so you'll save big, really big. Giant savings! Plus, pay it off with over 36 months interest-free.
And my mate John.
Here at Age Concern Otago, we offer a range of services to support Otago seniors to age well with dignity and independence. We provide social work support, visiting service, health promotion and social activities. Check out what we have on offer at ageconcernotago.com.
Aero, used by Australia's top bowlers with their unique Z-scoop grip that redefines the game. Machined with robotics for unparalleled accuracy, Aero, same line, every time.
Parkway, welcome back. A group of young Southlanders are finally getting their wheels on a new ramp thanks to the help of a school initiative. The children have been on a 5-month mission to make their favourite sport a little more challenging, and now they're ready to enjoy their efforts.
Tail whips and bunny hops as these pupils roll their scooters on the newly built ramp at West Gore School. Staff and pupils hosted a build-a-thon event recently, sizzling sausages to raise money towards the project as the new 6-metre long box and quarter pipe were being installed. Scooter enthusiasts Kobe Swain, RJ Beale and Ashton Beale worked hard in making the plan come to life, meeting with builders and seeking advice from professional skate parks.
One of the boys just commented that he's a pro now at interviews, so at the start they were quite shy about answering questions from adults, and so I've seen them develop in their confidence and their oral language skills, communication, which is awesome.
West Gore Deputy Principal Rebecca Prattley is confident the pupils will be excited to perform some tricks on the new ramp.
I think this will bring a lot of joy and have kids practicing their skills and developing the complexity of their jumps.
The young trio played a big part in making their dream become a reality, raising around $3,600 towards the new scooter ramp at their school playground. In Gore, the South Today.
Queenstown night skiers took a break to dance to some tunes in the snow over the weekend as part of a music event like no other held at Coronet Peak. It's the first time a live orchestra has performed on the snowy mountain, attracting a record number of people to the colourful spectacle.
Skiers enjoying the sound of string instruments on their ride down the slopes, as the world's first symphony in the snow got underway on Coronet Peak.
You're about to experience something pretty cool from our orchestra and some amazing musicians. Queenstown, are you ready?
Saturday's event saw over 3,500 punters make their way to the laser-covered Queenstown ski resort to enjoy the mix of vocalists, DJs and classical orchestra. NZ Ski has also broken their own record, with the dance party being the biggest ticketed event the organisation has hosted on any of their mountains.
Certainly it's the largest ticket event that's ever been done by NZ Ski on any of their mountains. So that's certainly, something for the record books for New Zealand, but this is something that we want to build on and create an iconic event for New Zealand.
But the concert came with some challenges. Symphony's conductor Emma Featherstone says a concern of the event was the cold, dry alpine air cracking the string instruments. She says they had to put quite a few heaters on the stage to create a warm temperature climate to stop the moisture from getting sucked out of the instruments.
As soon as you bring the moisture out of those instruments, they start to crack. So we're avoiding that, and the strings are going a little bit out of tune, so we're just tuning as we go. We do open string playing, and it can easily go out of tune, so we're making sure we're on the point for it.
After the success of Symphony in the Snow, Duco Touring CEO Craig Cotton wants to make it an annual event for the resort town and hopes to also bring Symphony to the global stage. In Queenstown, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. A group of Lumsden residents have failed to prevent some 130-year-old trees from being chopped down. Springfield's giant donut sculpture needs a new coat of paint as pleas are made to the Southland District Council. And Polyfest Week is underway in Invercargill, with pupils from 125 schools showing off their cultural talents. And now we'll look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, and we welcome Associate Editor Mike Houlihan. Hello Mike.
Good evening, Hannah.
What can we expect in the midweek paper?
Well, we've got an exclusive tomorrow as it happens. We have the first interview with Michael Woodhouse, the Dunedin-based nationalist MP, who will shortly be leaving Parliament in fairly sensational circumstances. He'll be telling us exactly what his views are about the whole thing and how it's happened.
Oh, you've got the scoop, all right.
We
what
have
else
indeed.
can we expect?
The Otago Regional Council met today to discuss the Manahirakia River and how much water should be flowing through it, so we've got all details of what they'd thought about that.
Okay.
We've got a great tale about a nurse who's about to retire from the Dunedin Hospital after 54 years on the wards.
Oh, wow.
Our first section has got a section on Thai cooking and sport, looking at the 10th anniversary of when Otago won the Ranfurly Shield for 7 whole days.
Wonderful. We look forward to reading. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Well, time now for a look at the weather.
The South Today weather, proudly brought to you by MallMap.
the skin cancer detection specialists.
Looking at the situation, high air pressure dominates our weather patterns for a few days, with colder southwesterly air due at the weekend, bringing some patchy low-level snow by Sunday. Heading to the top of the South Island, a fine day with light winds is lined up, with highs of 15 in Nelson, 14 for Greymouth and 13 in Christchurch. Travelling to South Canterbury and North Otago, 13s through here with light nor'easterlies, with clear afternoons for Ashburton, Timaru and Oamaru. Heading westwards to the Central Lakes, well, nice and fine with light winds through the valleys here tomorrow as well. By numbers, expect 15 in Wanaka and Alex, while Queenstown reaches a 14-degree high. Heading further south, another set of 13s are inbound tomorrow. This time it's for Gore, Balclutha and the Catlins, with nor'westerlies at times, but otherwise a clear, sunny day for all. Across to Invercargill, fine tonight with 5 and some cloud. The next 2 days look a bit windy with westerlies, but there's also plenty of sunshine to go around, and again 13s. That's the high for both Wednesday and Thursday. And finally, heading to Dunedin. Fine and cold tonight as it drops to 2 in the city. Then it's a clear run for a few days with light cloud, sunshine, blue skies, nor'easterlies and highs of 13 or 14 degrees. And that's the news this Tuesday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz. You can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand. We're also on Facebook. Just search for the South Today NZ to see our favourite stories from around the regions. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Ka kite o pōpō.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.